All right, so welcome everyone. Philly Yongmudo, Temple Hop Keto. We are coming at you with stay-at-home workout video number 46. So we've got 46 of these videos. If you want to catch up at any time, go to our YouTube channel and check them out, because these workouts are not terribly cumulative, so you can pick up any one of them and go with it. Today we're going to be working on 16-step, which is the quasi-form that we use here in Yongmudo to teach a lot of the basics through most of the color belts up through black belt. Today what you're going to need therefore are something like 3 socks, or I'm using rags. Anything to kind of mark feet, but hopefully something you can step on, but not so. These rags are a little bit thicker than I'd like, but to show up on screen when you guys are watching, that's what I'm going to use. Basically, we're using them as footwork markers. So anything you have that you can put out on the floor, it could even just be shoes, so long as you don't mind stepping on them, or putting them on your floor. Yeah, so we need that and some light or medium weights in your water bottle and all that. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get started. Oh, also this is an instructional class, so I'm going to try to edit out a bunch of the stops where I'm just sitting here staring at the screen, but there will be more questions. Sometimes they'll be a little bit harder to hear, and I'll try to up the gain on the video, the audio, the recording, to make sure that you can hear them. But there will be more questions, and we'll go back and forth a little bit more than we usually do. And because of that, will probably take a little bit longer. So this workout may go about closer to 75 minutes instead of 60. And hopefully my kid won't mind too much me taking up his Xbox screen. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So find yourself a little bit of space. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna circuit with some jumping jacks, but then we're gonna alternate that with some push-up kick-outs, okay? So easy push-up, sit out or kick out to the side. So we're gonna do 25 jumping jacks, 10 push-up kick-outs, alternating sides, 25 jumping jacks, 10 push-up kickouts to the side. So, all right, find your space, get ready to go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Oh, we're doing 25. Stop. All right, push-ups with kickouts. I'm gonna face you. Remember, alternate sides. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10, back up on your feet, 25 more jumping jacks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right, push-ups, kick-outs, 10 more. Push-up position, feet a little wide. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, next, light falls. Do the best you can with the mat you have. We're gonna do 5 back falls, 10 side falls. So we're doing 5 left, 5 right. Start slapping in close, chin tuck, easy roll down. Sorry. Do the best with the mat you have. All right, easy back falls. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Side falls, alternating left and right. If you want to vary the style of standing up, that's okay too. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, next. Go ahead and grab your weights, light or medium. I'm going to start with my medium weight, and we'll see how it goes today. We're going to do 10 stretch kicks, and then do squat with an overhead lift. As you're doing the squat, remember, just think about sitting down on something. Let your butt come out, back straight, then lift straight up, overhead. If you want to do a jump, that's all right. I'm not going to. So, stretch kick, then squat with overhead lift. So, left foot forward, right foot back. We're going to do straight up and down stretch kick. Good posture, hands up, rotate on the support leg. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Try to keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Grab your weight. Squat with an overhead lift. Remember, sit down. Bend your legs like you're sitting on something. Keep the back straight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Weights off to the side. Next stretch kick, out to in, all right? Out to in. Make sure, again, you're rotating on the support leg. Good posture, hands up. Left foot forward, right foot back, right leg out to in, stretch kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Right foot forward, left leg out to in, stretch kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Grab those weights. Second set. Ready. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Good, all right. Weights off to the side. Next. Left foot forward, right foot back, into out stretch kick. In to out, opening up. Let those hips open. Feel the stretch along that inner thigh. Hands up, good posture. Ready. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Right foot forward, left leg into out stretch kick. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right, hips. And we'll call that good for our warm-up. I don't want to cut too much into the instructional time. Throw your weights off to the side or move them gently. Grab a quick drink of water. It's not terribly humid today, but it is getting hot. We'll go up to 90 here. So, okay. All right, so this is where you want to start. You can kind of grab water and rest for a second. I'm going to lay out 3 feet, or my 3 socks, my 3 rags, and those are going to be thinking about kind of the feet. So remember for 16 step, generally, unless you're starting to switch sides and practice the other side, which would be okay, brown, red belt, black belt, we're going to start left foot forward, right foot back, and the attacker's always going to do a right front kick, right front punch to the head, okay? So this is a nice formal setup, kick, punch, right? So I'm starting left foot forward, right foot back, and the right foot ends up coming down forward, right? So I've got my 3 feet here. I'm turning my back to you just so you can imagine the opponent is coming right, I don't know. When you're facing the camera, it's coming right at you. So left foot forward, right foot back, I kick, I punch. And so this represents kind of that step as the attacker closes, all right? Questions so far? Okay. The first one I want to work on is I want to spend some time on the outer wrist twist. So the outer wrist twist, as a reminder, let me do it from the side first, or actually I'll do it facing you. I'm going to line up with my foot kind of near this front foot, all right? That puts me at kind of like a hand's distance or a little bit more from the body of the person in front of me. I'm going to step back, and you can do either block, left out to in block, or right down block, left out to in block. But the outer wrist twist is always going to have this left out to in block, okay? The first thing I want to do is the very basic one, all right? We're going to start with a good posture. We're going to step back block. Notice that as I step back blocking, I'm not going to reach for it. I'm not going to lean down. I'm not trying to block something down below, you know, mid-thigh. It's coming in here. Now this punch is coming right here at my face, so I'm going to soft block in. Got an out to in block, and it's coming in here and catching that punch and pushing it slightly across my body here. And then for this one, I'm going to now pull it down a little bit too. I'm going to catch, grab, pull it down here to a nice solid core section, the peanut butter jar zone, the work table zone, okay? Right where that sticky jar that's hard to open, that's where we want it. So the first basic wrist twist, outer wrist twist, most of you guys know, and then we'll go through a couple variations to think about stuff, but we're starting right foot forward, left foot back, down block, out to in block. I'm catching here, pulling it slightly across my body, catching it here. And for this basic one, we're assuming we don't have we've got a partner who's just kind of punching and then holding. So their momentum's kind of stopped. They might even be pulling that hand back in. I've got both hands, mirror image to each other. I'm now going to step right foot, come in. Notice how my hands didn't really move. As I do this step, that forces the wrist and elbow already to fold. I don't have to do a heck of a lot because my body has already done it. My legs have already done it. Now, as I step back, I'm going to turn, and yes, my thumbs are going to begin to rise up and paint a circle going around in the second axis of rotation. So first I'm going to fold, and then I'm going to, thumbs are going to turn here for the rest of the twist. All right? So that if someone is punched here, the first move is a fold coming in here, and then as I take the second step, now the opponent's fingers, knuckles are going vertically and coming around in that plane. Questions? All right, let's go ahead and do that. Very basic one, and then we'll work on the variations that help us think a little bit about what's going on. So start right foot forward, left foot back, and everyone on your own, let's go ahead and do a bunch. So I'll do a few here, and then I'll take a pause over there to watch you guys. I'm not going to count them out, so on your own, basic outer wrist twist 16 step. Hush. Shoo. 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 Hush. Shoo. Shoo. Hush. Shoo. 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 Couple thoughts on this. The first block, I'm going to turn sideways for this. That first block, sorry, I'll get a little bit closer. That first block, we would like to, in a perfect world, we don't want to step, stop, then do our block. What I'd like, because this person is kicking coming in, right? If I wait till I get to here, chances are that kick is already at too far an extent for them, and a real person is going to pull that foot back, and they're already going to begin doing their punch or some other follow-up technique. Also, we want to think about how to use our weight with the step for the block so that we're not stopping, blocking, blocking, okay? White, yellow belt, green belt, fine. Upper ranks, we're going to try to block, right? Notice how my body is continuously shifting throughout the entire blocking motion until I get to this pull down spot here. That's where my hips and shoulders and legs stop. So we're starting here, 1, 2, and now coming back in, okay? So regardless of which hand you're blocking with, whether it's front or rear, try to keep that motion a little bit more constant, okay? All right, let's do a few more. Steph, on that first, on this one here, let's not bring the block to the far hip. Try to keep it block here, so it's here in the peanut butter jar zone, so that as you go back in, it's in front of you. It's not behind you. If I'm seeing it right.
I do have one.
Yeah, yeah.
So I couldn't tell if someone else was trying to talk, but I was hearing my own echo. Okay. Are you landing back on the foot stepping back at all? Because I'm finding myself doing that, and I think it's an artifact of trying to think of block. Okay, now I've done the 2 blocks in sequence. Now I can do the other thing. Or are you staying pretty forward on the left leg?
Good question, good question. So I am starting, we'll call it 50-50, but notice I've got a fairly natural fighting stance. As I drop back on this, notice how my stance is longer. Okay, so this is no longer a natural fighting stance. This is like an extra, half shoulder width. So this would be a natural fighting stance, but I'm here, right? So that extra deep step gives me a little bit more movement, but I'm probably ending about 50-50, almost in a horseback stance here. So I've got a lot of movement that I can take off that rear leg now to drive. So stepping back with a longer stance gives me a little bit more movement on the block. And now I've got I still have the leg there to drive for the step in, okay? So I'm not going into a back stance where I'm, let's say, uneven, 60-40, 70-30, but I'm taking a deeper stance, and that deeper stance gives me an extra 6 to 8 inches of rear motion, and then I still have the leg strong for a drive forward without overweighting it.
Okay.
Other questions?
Your front leg turning completely out to the pointing to your right?
Yes.
Your front foot?
Just about, yeah. Boom, boom, yeah. Because I'm bringing that hand here, and I want to have, So when we get to the variations, you're going to see it a little bit more, but I want to have the ability to push this hand further if I can. Remember, the person is attacked here and they've gone boom, boom, and I've assumed they're kind of pulling back and I'm just stepping with it, right? But if they don't begin to pull back and they begin to fight and try to strengthen that wrist, I want the ability to push that wrist forward so that they're off balance. So in order to do that, yes, I am turning this front foot here, bringing it in here, and now I've got the ability to push just a little bit further, or I can step in. Yeah? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's try the first variation is a step across. Okay, so let me come back here to this kind of front-back motion, front-back vision. So we're here. Boom, boom. The first one we did is we grabbed in here, brought it in, and now I stepped into them. They're pulling their arm back in, so it makes sense. Instead, what I want to try this time is, let's say they're fighting it just a little bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to step across. I'm basically pushing to pull them up onto their toes, okay? So that as an attacker, let's say I'm starting here, and I'm going kick, punch, and I think you can just see my hand, all right? So instead of coming in like this time, I'm going to take that step and take them off balance over this direction. Now with the weight over onto their toes, they don't have something to pull on here, and so we're going to get the wrist break that direction. So we're going to start here. 1, 2. I'm going to step across. That pulls their weight onto their toes, and now I can step through here and do the wrist twist. This is what I think of as a very long distance one. It's going to force them to do a long fall, but hey, they were fighting me, so that's their problem, right? So once more from the front. 1, 2, step across, and I'm driving here, pushing them off balance, and then twisting in here. Going this direction, 1, 2, stepping towards the camera, and then stepping back. Questions? All right, so from the attacker's perspective, it's here, kick, punch. Now this time, instead of just stepping right back into them, you're stepping across, pulling them over here, they go here, and now the wrist twist, and they have to take the big air fall over there. All right, let's go ahead, questions on that. Okay, if there are no questions, let's go ahead and try that. Try it a few times each person. Or everyone try it a few times.
Are you turning fully away for the actual wrist twist itself, like when you're finishing? So,
yeah, so by the time, so we're here, right? Boom, boom. I'm stepping across, right? And now my left foot is going to step back, and the hand kind of does a very small windshield wiper motion here. So relative to where they were, I would say their starting position is kind of behind me 45 degrees to my right, but they have air falled through, hopefully over here, and they're in front of me.
Okay.
But that said, you know, on the normal one, right, we're here, 1, 2, we step in here anyway, right? So this would be the normal one that we teach, and I'm saying just bring it out to the side a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a couple more. So the rear foot is stepping across. Instead of stepping into them, instead of the rear foot stepping into them, the rear foot is stepping across. Right? So we're in here, boom, boom. Right foot, instead of stepping straight into them, it's instead of going to 12 o'clock, that foot is going to go to like 2 o'clock.
It appears to me things might have been mirrored. Does this start right foot forward or right foot back?
Oh, sorry. This one starts left foot forward, right foot back.
Okay.
Sorry, no. Sorry. Right foot forward, left foot back. So this is my right foot. This is my right side.
So it is.
Yeah. And so I step back, right block, left block, right foot, left foot.
Okay.
Okay. So a thought on this one, and then we'll move on to the next one. We're doing the down block, we do the out to in block, and we're stepping here. We're basically pushing a straight arm, right? So on this one, what I want to do now with the next one is let's go to the Aikido, we'll call it the Aikido version, okay? So here, I'm going to step back down block. This punch is coming in, and I'm going to take an extra step off the line. And just like on the last one, I pushed it across, I'm going to pull and try to push it in front of me to keep that arm reaching. If I want, I take an extra slide around here, okay? So to do it from the beginning, we're here, 1, 2, in here. And I've taken a much bigger step with the right foot. So the right foot steps back, the right foot steps back again. Big pivot, okay? And what happens on this, if I can be the attacker now, is as I attack, kick, punch, when you do that pull and you step back and you keep this hand in your peanut butter jar zone, and you're stepping back out of the way here and you're stepping to the outside, your hip or lower ribs end up being right here around the elbow. So as you pull, you're creating a fulcrum with your body that you are actually attacking the elbow, and that's in addition to the off balance and the pull, that elbow then keeps them off balance coming forward. So if I've got my buddy here, we can see I do my out to in block, and I step back out of the way and I'm pushing this through. His elbow is right here at my ribs or maybe my hip, depending on how off balance and how tall we are, okay? But now I've got this fulcrum, and as I pull or push forward with the hands, it's a combination of pulling and pushing, I'm using my body as a fulcrum up against their elbow. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. We're going to start right foot forward, left foot back, right foot steps again, pull that hand across so that it's in front of you, but now that means their elbow is here. Give them a second to catch up, and then turn and step, and you're going to throw them right back to where they started. So one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, doing it from the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the right foot steps, the left foot steps. Questions? Okay, think about this push across and imagine that hip fulcrum working up against their elbow. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Everyone start working it. Looking pretty good. One pause, let me make a comment, and then let me see if there are any questions. All right, so I'm trying to set up an X here just so we can think about all the different directions that we can go on this. The very standard one, boom, boom, is just to step right in, right? That's the basic one we did. The second one we did was 1, 2, and we stepped across here. Now this third one, this Aikido one, right? I'm coming 1, 1, 2, and now from this point, I've got them off balance. There's a lot of directions I can go on this left foot. I can step slightly across and take them right back to where they started. Stephanie is stepping way back out of the way here and taking them over here, and that works really well too, okay? There's a lot of different directions you can go, or you can even step right back in just like we did on the basic one, okay? So it all depends. This attacker has gone kick, punch, and they get dragged around here. Now at this point, you can think about throwing them that way, you can think about throwing them this way, or you can step in here and throw them out over there, right? So all the options are still there. So you can go 1, 2, and now nice big motion, or you can tighten it up hard. So they're all great ideas. Questions? Hopefully my X helped.
For all of these, are your hands still staying relatively centered? Like you're still making a pretty small motion with your hands? Because I guess the source of that question is that when I'm thinking about trying to come all this way, I feel like I have to do a larger circle there. Is that a true thought? Is that?
I am.
The attacker makes a big circle, but you're arm barring them, so you don't need heroic motion well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, most of our wrist techniques are a small circle wrist technique. So there are styles which will take this exact same motion here and now take a big motion here for a throw. In Yongmudo, we tend to keep very small circle. We're going to assume that these are going to be weaker proportionally than everything else. So let's focus on using these muscles here. So it isn't that it's wrong to necessarily make a bigger circle, but I find that's usually going to take a little bit more upper body strength. I think it's also going to take more accuracy on the technique. Whereas if we keep it tight and we turn it in here, we don't have to think too much about exactly where that wrist is going because it's staying right there. So my argument is that for all of these, boom, boom, the wrist is staying right in here. I'm doing a little bit of wrist motion here, but this is all my wrists and arms are doing once I get it trapped in the peanut butter jar zone. After that, it's all whether I'm stepping left, right, right, left, right, right. So that's where it all is, okay? And the nice thing on the Aikido one is the idea is we're here, boom, you're getting them way off balance here. And once they're way off balance, you have lots of options. You can go straight over the right foot. You can go over their toes. You can turn it and go over their left foot. Your option. All right, questions? Okay, we got through.
I've had this done to me a lot by Cody. As the attacker, since he is armbarring me and pivoting in a tight circle, I have to run around him to not get armbarred, so I am really off balance because I'm essentially chasing my elbow. And then he prefers that tight step in, and like there's nothing I can do because I have so much forward momentum, and I'm already nose over toes. So the person being thrown feels it very acutely over the person doing very big small circle.
Okay.
Yeah, the only the added option that some of that motion gives you, where you're pulling them around, is that most of the 16-step outer wrist twists we do is you get them off balance here, and now you do the wrist twist. On some of the Aikido ones, you get them so far off balance here, and now they're trying to stand up because they're trying to regain their balance. And when they're coming up, you can see this arc on my shoulder. Then you can take it this direction and let them kind of stand up into the throw instead of keeping them off balance. So it's about playing with it. And when we get to back in person, we can try some of these, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead.
Straight crumple.
Sorry, what?
A straight crumple. So you've got them extended here and then just taking it straight down.
Yeah.
In that direction. Would that be a different one, or would that be a variation of the same?
No, I would say that's fine. I would say that's fine. So as I am coming at you, right, we're here, boom. The basic one is this fist comes in here, right? I'm pulling my arm back in and you go, okay, and you get the wrist twist in here. The second one was you pulled me out here and then you basically forced me into that crumple, right? So you pulled me off balance and then what you call the crumple is what we're doing there. Or you can pull it around here and then you can keep the big step you were doing, or you can force into a crumple, or you can force into whatever. So
Can you crumple them back into the quadrant that your right foot started in?
What do you mean by crumple?
So just a straight, like you've got them here and you're just like hand to elbow to ground.
Yeah, and so
collapse.
the basic one we do, I would say is exactly what happens there. You get in here, and I've stepped in, and now at this point I can crumple straight down if I wanted to.
Would you ever go back in their direction? So like in stepping straight into them, or just straight down? Or do you not like that as much?
I don't really like to come straight into them.
Okay.
I like to come a little bit to the inside, and the reason, I guess the reason for that is that if I'm coming straight in, I've got to fight this right here, right? Which is something very strong. If I even step across a little bit, now I've broken this system a lot in ways that make it harder for them to start to fight. They're trying to push out, or maybe even they can curl in, but now this is strong, right? But here I can twist, and so I don't go straight at them. I like having bits of angles at least to help break their balance and break the plane of strength for that system. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, so let's do, we're gonna do the wave throw. I don't want to spend too much time on the basic version that we teach everyone. What I want to do instead is let's do that for a minute or two, and then I want to teach you a variation that harkens back to the outer wrist twist. Okay, so the basic version, right? As you're facing an opponent, right? I'm starting left foot forward, right foot back, down block, into out, middle block. It's a soft block. I'm catching that hand, pulling them up onto their toes, stepping under, and then pulling back, right? Starting left foot forward, right foot back from the side. 1, 2, this is a soft block. Grab, pull, step under, then pull back. So as the attacker, it's a kick, punch, pull off balance here, and then that hand comes under, and they go into the fall, right? Questions? So the tricks, lower ranks, remember, step under this arm, okay? Don't lift up the arm as you step under. You've got to move under that arm so that you keep them off balance. When you lift the arm, you let them usually come back, and now they can pull in. All right, let's go ahead and do that a few times, and then we'll do the variation. Left foot forward, right foot back. We don't have a partner here, but this is usually the mistake we see in lower ranks anyway. And that is, you've got the down block, you've got the in to out middle block, okay? Usually this in to out middle block is targeted to end right about here, right? I've stepped a little bit more out of the way, but that punch was going to end somewhere here. But you've got to think of continuing them off balance, right? You don't want them to punch and stop right here where they're strong. You need to get them that extra 3 to 4 inches. So remember left foot forward. Remember as we do the down block pull, this is the soft block. Through here, I've now managed to grab right around here. I now need to pull. I need to drive off this back leg, pull I've got a pivot here, and now I'm gonna step under and come through. So don't forget that crucial off balance. Okay, questions? Okay, a couple more times, just do that, think about that off balance, and then we'll do the variation.
When I teach it, I usually describe the moving the attacker's arm or hand in a big circle, because the common mistake is people who get them off balance, and then instead of continuing to pull forward and down, they go back and down, giving their opponent their balance back on their feet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So what I was seeing you guys do was block, block here, and now step under, and you didn't get that pull. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was getting that. So we're on the exact same page. Yes. All right, cool, looking good. Okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna do the variation. So this 16 step starts left foot forward, right foot back, correct? I want you to switch. We're now gonna be right foot forward, all right? We're gonna do a left down block, left into out middle block, okay? And again, we wanna make this kind of a soft block, okay? We wanna make it a soft block. We're on the inside of their arm, okay? Into out block, inside of their arm. From here, I'm gonna come back, grab that wrist, and now I'm gonna step in and arm bar. This is the cradle arm bar, passport arm bar that we do. So if I've got my opponent here, I'm blocking on the inside. Oh, sorry, trying to do this. I'm blocking on the inside, sliding down, grabbing the wrist, grabbing the other wrist, pushing across, and I've got this arm bar. Yes, Steph, yes, there we go. So we're starting right foot forward, left down block, left out in middle block, soft block. Notice how my body's turning, grabbing those wrists, and now I'm gonna push down, push across, and get an arm bar. So as the attacker, here's what it looks like. Comes in here, kick, punch. This arm gets pulled here, pulled down, pulled across, and at this point there's arm bar. Okay, so I'm on my toes, they've got my wrists, they've got an arm bar, and I'm right foot forward and they are left foot forward. Questions?
How offended would a testing panel be if you did that for weight throw?
Let's put that off to the side and just, because this is we can think of alternatives. Apex likes to ask their students to come up with alternatives all the time, apparently. And that's fine. This is a good mental exercise to think about what comes next anyway. Stephanie?
Can you show the feet position direction as you're doing the blocks and then the step in?
Yeah, all right, so I'll show it facing you and then I'll turn sideways. So I'm starting right foot forward, left foot back. I'm gonna step back, left block, left block. So I've basically got just a regular 16-step fighting stance, right? Now I'm just gonna step in here, boom, boom, and I've got a somewhat narrow fighting stance, all right? It's narrow in the sense that it's a natural fighting stance, but my legs are bent because I'm trying to do a lot of motion in here with my legs, okay? Now I'm gonna step in once more and I've got that arm bar. Boom. Okay?
So you don't find that you're running into their arm? Well, I guess you're bringing it under and across, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing it under and across, and it comes in tight so that basically, let's see, as the attacker, it comes 1, 2, it comes right in here and then comes across. But this is a wrist twist, right? This is twisting the wrist, and so it's hard to fight because my wrist is being twisted, thumb moving out, thumb moving towards me, so that I'm pinky side up as they move across. And in this point now, you've got this arm bar. Here's your elbow underneath my elbow, and you're holding the wrist.
Thank you.
So we start right foot forward, left foot back, left down block, left into out middle block, pull it down and in, pull it across, we've got the arm bar. start, right foot forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably over accentuating the lift, but we can think about a nice high lift. Will, as you do the soft block here, don't let the arm get behind you. You're going to turn as you soft block to keep this hand in front of you. Remember the basics on this stuff. You want to keep your hands in front of you at all times, right? So you are going to block, block, and as I carry this hand further towards me and moving past me, I'm turning so that I keep this in front of me. And now I'm going to drive down and twist and come through here. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, there we go. Okay, so let's add to it now. You guys are all getting it. I will face the camera first. So I'm going down, right foot forward, left foot back, down block, into out, middle block, bring it through, twisting at that wrist, stepping in, getting the arm bar, okay? Now at this point, I've got the right arm. I have them here, off balance, right? Nose over toes, weight supported by that wrist, and they're trying to figure out where to go and what to do, right? So from here, I'm going to come in, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duck under and yank down. I'm going to push this in front of me, yank under, and duck down. Just like the wave throw, right? So that as the attacker, they're here, boom, boom. The arm gets brought here, right? And now you're going to step under, push, and then pull under, and they're going to do their air fall. Okay? So.
Can you do that again from the attacker's point of view?
Say that one more time.
Can you do that motion again as the attacker?
Yeah, that was me as the attacker.
Yeah, right. Can you do that
Okay,
again?
yeah. Which angle do you want? Facing away from you or face?
I think the same one. I just
okay.
see it again.
So we're here. I'm the attacker. Right kick, right punch. The arm gets pulled a little bit through. There's an arm bar here. Boom. Now what you're going to do is you're stepping under and yanking under. And so from here it goes like this. Boom. Into the air fall. Okay? So basically you're getting up on their toes, and then it's the wave throw. So let's do this as the defender. Left foot forward, right foot back. Right foot forward, left foot back. 1, soft block, come through here. Boom, get that arm bar. Now I'm going to duck underneath this, lifting, pulling, and stepping through here. Questions?
As you pull and step away, they're falling into your speaker behind you, or are they falling out, or does it not matter? Which direction?
They are falling towards that speaker off to the side. Yes, behind me and to the side.
So then as we step through, we want to point at your speaker, or we want to point at...
Yeah, as you step through, so as you step through and you're getting this arm bar here, you should see that arm, in my case, my imaginary partner's arm, is pointing towards that speaker. So I'm getting it up here, and then and so now their toes, remember if they've got, they started 1, 2, 3, right? So they started here, and they did kick, punch. As that arm points towards the speaker, you're going straight over their toes anyway. So that we're here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I've got the arm and I'm beginning to point it towards that speaker. Their toes are back there, and I pull under and they are gonna fall through there. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and give that a shot.
Thank you.
Let's try that variation. Walk through it on your own without me yabbering at you too many times. Duck under, Steph, duck under. You can get a lot of lift on that arm bar, but then once you've got that lift, and the maximum lift you're going to get is going to be about shoulder level, and that's where we're going to require also strong arms, because this is the fulcrum, right? The fulcrum's here, so even if I lift that up, maximal height is here. So now at this point, I've got to get my head under that arm. Same thing, Will. Pause on that arm bar. Make sure you've got enough lift on that person. So make sure you've got enough lift here coming up that now you can drop under. So it's not going to be a smooth wave function. It's going to be like it's going to be a little bit more of a peak and then a drop. So more of an inverted V rather than a nice smooth, wave function.
Okay.
So it's gonna, yeah, you're gonna come up, you're gonna curve up into that arm bar, and then you're gonna peak, and then you're gonna drop back out the other direction. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What direction is your last step? In actually doing it, I'm having trouble thinking about that.
Yeah. So I'm starting, I've got my grid here and I've got my feet here. Maybe you can see them. Make sure I've got some other stuff out of the way. Okay, so from here, I'm going down block, soft, in, out, middle, soft block, right? This is catching that fist. I'm gonna come out here, grab that wrist. I'm grabbing around the thumb. Now I'm gonna begin driving down. Now I've grabbed on the pinky side, driving through here. Now I'm getting that arm stuck across. It's getting tight, but now I've got that arm bar right in here, and I'm lifting up, and I'm gonna drive up, and now my right foot is gonna step back as I duck through. As I duck through, I've got them lifted up. They're on their toes. I'm gonna push away as I draw under. So I'm still doing that circle motion like we did on the wave throw and stepping back through. Okay? So I end up moving kind of out to about 2 o'clock, right? So this is 12, and I step back to 6, come in, step towards 2, step towards 2, step towards 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Mindy, you've got 2 pauses in there near the end, and my suggestion is to have just 1. So right now you are here, and 1, 2, you get in here, you've got a pause here, and then it seems like you're ducking and pausing again. So from here, once I begin the duck under, I want to push and just pull through and not take a second pause kind of on the other side on the other arm. So I don't want to do an arm bar on the left shoulder.
Do you think they're off balance enough from that one step through that you don't need to bring them any more forward? You can just come straight back? Those are the pauses of trying to do that big circle motion.
Right. So the answer I'm going to tell you is that from here, we've got them up on their toes. So correct. As I drive through, I am pushing this arm across, pulling them more off balance. I just don't want you to stop here and try to use an arm bar on the other side to then do it, because now I don't have any more reach out here to push them off balance anymore. So start on the left arm. So I've got the arm bar on the left side, driving them up. And yes, as I duck under, I'm going to push across and keep them moving and get them further onto their toes before yanking back. But I think what's going to happen is as you duck under here, they're going to go from kind of here to kind of here, and now you will have lost ability to push any further through, and you're just going to be stuck with yanking down hard. So yes, keep pushing, just don't stop and pause and try to hold that second position again.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, we're not trying to do that big circle we're just trying to get as much forward as we can from where we are, and then just relying on speed?
So again, you've given me two statements, and I'm telling you one is true and the other one is not. So, so let me try to use this guy. You've got an arm bar right here, okay? Mm-hmm. From here, as I step under and pull through, I can keep him moving far enough forward that I can step back and do the throw. What I'm seeing you do is coming here for the arm bar, stepping through, doing the arm bar on the other side, and now trying to, again, begin moving him forward to come through to do the step. So I want you to get here, get this arm bar, and now you're going to get him up onto his toes with the arm bar, and now one big push, and this is a circle. This is traveling a circle, as you said. No disagreement there. I just don't want you to pause here and now way out here trying to do the circle there without having, I feel like there's not enough movement, not enough motion in there, because I'm already too far reaching to get the extra motion I need once I've stopped here. So I want you to get here and now push through and just continue through. So yes, that big circle is still there, yes. All right, let's go ahead and move our gear out of the way. And yeah, there's always so many details that we start working on, and so it gets hard to even spend just 2 minutes on it. Anyhow, good thing we got to spend a good breadth of time on 2/16 steps. So next, moving around, big circles. Not passive circles, give it a little bit of squeeze the entire way around, switch direction. Looking to the right and left. Again, a squeeze at the end. Right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Give it a squeeze. Try not to let the shoulders rise up. Relax the shoulders. Good. Forwards and up and down. Good. And just the shoulders starting backwards. Big concave, convex motion. And switch direction. If you want to think about rotating extra on the palms to help think about opening and closing the chest, great. Good. And big circles going forwards. I can tell the air is still in here because as I do this, I'm like, oh, this feels cooler now. The air is moving past my body, switching directions. Oh. Easy chain breakers. Squeeze as it goes back. Good. And catch that right arm, pull it across. And switch arms, left arm pulling across. And switch, right arm going behind your head. Palm is flat on the middle of your back, fingertips reaching down. If you're flexible enough, you want to reach up and grab those fingers, go ahead. I don't like to do that. As you're doing this, just make sure you're not putting too much pressure on your head. Switch arms. Your neck should be relaxed a little, well, not relaxed. Your head will come forward a little bit, but let's try not to push on the elbow with your head or let the elbow push too far on your head. Oh, good. And feet about shoulder width apart, hands reaching up, side stretches. Oh. hitting some of those nice angles. Let your hips shift out to offset, counterbalance your weight. And checking, make sure your feet are hip width again, hands reaching up, and swan dive, forward fold down. Relax into this stretch. Let your upper body hang on this one. Let the weight of your upper body do the work at first. And bend your knees, ragdoll up. And hands go high. And I'm gonna rotate forward fold one more time. Trying to keep hands slide up, halfway up your shins, halfway up. Elongate the back. And keeping the back active, forward fold. And from here, either walk your hands out or shoot your feet back into a high plank position. And low plank, upward dog. Roll the toes under, downward dog. If you need to adjust the length of your stance, that's fine. My downward dog is shorter than my plank. Trying to push your ankles, heels down to the ground. You may not get there. Walk it out, switching the feet. Good. Come to high plank again. Low plank, upward dog, downward dog. Right foot lifting up, three-legged dog. Let that foot fold over to the left side. Knee bends, knee lifts towards the ceiling, hips open up. Bring that foot back, three-legged dog. Bring that foot forward, stepping between the hands. Come up, side kick stretch. Right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Dropping that left hip down to the ground. Try to make sure that right foot is far enough out that you're not getting your knee past your toes. Try to activate that right leg just a little bit, pushing yourself up, still trying to drop that left hip down. And turn to your right, crescent lunge. And gently drop that left knee down to the ground. Left hand down to the ground. Right hand goes underneath and around the right foot down to the ground. Chest drops, trying to stretch the right hamstring. You might want to slide that left knee a little bit further back and out of the way. That's up to you. It's all up to you. And untangle the hands. Bring that right foot back to a high plank. And low plank. And upward dog. And downward dog. And left foot comes up, three-legged dog. And let that left knee bend. Left foot drops off to the right side. Hip opens up. Feel the stretch in your lower back. Good. Back to three-legged dog. Left foot comes forward, steps through between the hands. Coming up, side kick stretch on the other side. Right leg is straight, left leg is bent. Turn to your left, crescent lunge. Hands are reaching up. One, it's a balance drill, but also two, it helps open up that abdominal cavity, aiding the stretch on that right hip. Gently put the knee down, still pushing hip forward. Chest drops down, left hand goes underneath and around the left foot. Chest to the ground, feeling the stretch in the left hamstring. And untangle the hands. Left foot drops back, high plank, low plank, upward dog. This time I'm going to sit back, child's pose, stretching out my shoulders. And from here, I'm just going to sit down on the ground. Let's go ahead and let's start with left leg tucked in, right leg straight out. I'm going to reach down towards that right leg. I like to take my left hand and push it on that knee. That helps me open up the hip and open up the back muscles on that side as I go forward into the stretch. Good. Right foot, let's grab it, pull it back behind us, stretching out the quadriceps, the thigh. Remember, let's try to keep a nice plane on all the joints on that right leg so we're not pulling the ankle out to the outside and putting tension on the knee. We don't want to torque the knee, we want to stretch the quad. And sitting up, still keeping this S-shaped position. Chest is going to drop down to my left foot, maybe like a half butterfly stretch. Or a contorted pigeon. Something with wings. All right, right leg now, bringing all the way up and around and sweeping over that left knee. Hug that knee in towards my chest. Dropping that right hip down to the ground. Back straight. Feeling the stretch usually in this right hip. Sometimes if I have my left foot a little bit further forward and I lean into it a little bit, I can feel the stretch in the left hip too. Don't try to stretch too many things at once. Good. And right hand goes behind you, left elbow goes outside the right knee, twisting to your right, gentle back stretch. And good. Gently untangle. Left leg is out, right leg is tucked, reaching out towards that left leg. Again, if you want, take your right hand, put it on your right knee, push it down, use it to help push you forward. Remembering to breathe. And sit up, take that left foot, tuck it behind you, stretching out the quadriceps. And sitting up, chest goes down to your right foot in the modified butterfly pigeon stretch. Maybe we'll call this one Mothra. That's like a butterfly-like thing, but is giant like a bird. Call this Mothra. And sit up, take that left foot, bring it all the way around and over that right knee. Hug that left knee into your chest. Back straight, dropping your left hip towards the ground. And left hand goes behind your left hip, right elbow goes outside your left knee, back twist. And untangle, and let's go ahead and do a little bit of windshield wiper real quick. think we will end there for today. Thank you for joining us for this 16-step workout. Hopefully you learned something. If, you know, some good points in there, take them, enjoy them. Good workout, take it, enjoy it into the, you know, take it into the rest of your day and have a nice, good feeling that you did something for yourself, because that's what we're trying to do here. Just have some good fun. So stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you at the next class. Thanks, guys.